It's early morning in Toronto, and Jesse Thistle curls up on a cold bench, shivering and hungry. The streets have seen him at his worst: cracked pipes, empty bottles, broken promises. But in this bleak moment, he clings to one thought: if I can just make it to the next minute, maybe, just maybe, I'll get a chance at life. How does a homeless, addicted kid find hope when everything screams to give up? Jesse's story begins not with hope, but with abandonment and harsh realities. The cracks in his family start early, fracturing his identity and setting up a tragic cycle. Jesse, barely a toddler, is ripped from his parents and tossed through Ontario's foster system with his brothers. Temporary homes, uncertain faces. Finally, they land with their paternal grandparents in Hornipane, but love feels like discipline, and every day is a test. The fragile safety is marred by memories of an addicted father whose shadow haunts every room. Think of family as a house with walls made from both steel and glass, unyielding but fragile. The tough love from Jesse's grandparents acts like steel bars, firm and unforgiving. But the cracks in those bars, the secrets, addictions, and ghostly presence of his father, are like shattered glass, cutting deep and unreachable. This violent mix isolates Jesse, trapping him in limbo. Yet from this fractured house rises the truth of his Métis-Cree heritage, a puzzle piece Jesse wouldn't fully see until much later. His journey back to culture, once blurred by pain, becomes an anchor. The real breakthrough, realizing his roots aren't just where you start, they're what you fight to reclaim, and sometimes rediscovering yourself means confronting family ghosts head-on. With no solid ground, Jesse spirals into addiction and crime. But the streets teach harsh lessons, and sometimes the darkest moments open the door for light. Jesse spends 12 brutal years bouncing between cracked pipes, petty theft, and cold nights under highway overpasses in Saskatoon and Toronto. Each time he tries to climb out, the pull is stronger. Homeless shelters, jail cells, and hospital visits become grim landmarks in his young adult life. Yet in the depths of this chaos, the idea surfaces: live to the next minute and maybe, just maybe, survive. Addiction traps like a bear hug, a survival rhythm that suffocates escape. Jesse's experience is like trying to sprint while tied to a weight. Every craving and withdrawal drags him back. The addiction cycle isn't just biological, it's emotional and spiritual. It isolates the soul while numbing the pain, a poisonous loop perfectly designed to steal hope. Then comes the breakthrough moment, when Jesse looks at death and realizes he'd rather scream in pain than die quietly. That minute-to-minute grip loosens when he embraces education and reconnects with Métis culture. His transformation is proof that even the tightest chains can snap when you find something worth living for beyond survival. Jesse's story isn't just about falling, it's about flying back up. Reclaiming his identity through education and culture rewrites the narrative of helplessness. In university libraries and dusty archives, Jesse unearths the histories of his people, the stories erased, ignored, and misunderstood. His graduate work becomes a quest not just for a degree but for belonging. He finds that working with Indigenous elders and language revitalization projects gives him more than knowledge, it offers redemption. Education becomes Jesse's rebellion against a life that tried to break him. Think of it like planting a tree in scorched earth. The roots of knowledge and culture slowly crack the concrete of trauma. Each class, assignment, and lecture rekindles his spirit. This healing through learning is radical because it rewires the mind and soul simultaneously. Finally, Jesse rebuilds his family ties and finds love and acceptance where he once felt only rejection. His memoir proves that no matter how far you fall, there's a circle waiting to catch you if you're willing to reach back in. His astonishing journey turns ashes into wings, teaching us that identity isn't lost, it's waiting patiently for us to come home. Back on that cold Toronto bench, Jesse's worn hands clutch a book, not a pipe. That same minute-to-minute fight now carries the power of purpose and belonging. His story reminds you, no matter how shattered your start, step one is always showing up, whether it's to a class, a circle, or a mirror. Try this, find one piece of your heritage or passion and dive into it fiercely, like your life depends on it, because maybe it does. Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.